In this lesson, we're going to talk about how to convert between the different forms of linear equations. We're going to go through a quick reminder of what those forms are, and then we're going to talk about how to go from standard form and point slope form to slope-intercept form, and then slope-intercept form to standard form. Just a quick reminder, these are the three linear forms of an equation: slope-intercept form, standard form, and point slope form. These are like templates where you can generally fill in information or they can give you information. They might be ways that the equation appears and then you pull the information from it, or you convert to a different form, which is what we're going to do in this lesson, so that you can pull different information from it. So you should be able to go between these forms pretty well. Let's take a look at an example that might require us to convert between forms. It says to find the slope of a line that has an equation 4x minus 2y equals 16. And I've listed a few steps here that are kind of helpful. So first, recognize the form. What form is that in? What template does that look like? And if I bounce back here, I see, okay, so I'm looking at this and the x and the y are on the same side of the equal sign. It's equal to a number. So I go back over here and that looks like this to me, but with a minus instead of a plus. So that's standard form. Is the needed info part of that form? So it's asking me to find the slope. And slope is not a part of standard form. We can't just go, oh, it's 2, or oh, it's 16. So no, not in its given form can I find the slope. So step 3 is, if it's not, convert to the form that has that information. If we think back to our forms, we have two forms that we could just tell the slope right from it. One is slope-intercept form and the other one is point slope. And I'm just going to tell you, if you're asking to find the slope and it's not in slope-intercept form, you're probably going to go to slope-intercept form. So that's the one that we need. So we need to get it in y equals mx plus b. And this form has the unique characteristic that y is all by itself. It's isolated and everything else is on the other side of the equal sign. So that's our goal. We're going to do our 4x minus 2y, and our goal is to get y all by its lonesome. So I'm going to put a box around terms that are not y. And I'm going to circle the term that is y, because that's the one I'm trying to solve for. So I'm going to move everything that's not y to the other side of the equal sign. So 4x is not y, it's in a box, so it needs to go over here to the box. And when we switch sides, we switch signs. The 16 is already on the box side, so I'm going to leave it here, but then I'm going to put a plus to separate these because they're terms. It's a positive 16, so I'm going to put a plus here. And then notice I dropped that negative down, or that minus down, and now it's a negative because there's nothing in front of it. But you want to make sure you drop that sign down if it's a minus. And we're almost there. Y is almost by itself. We just need to, just like solving a regular equation, divide by -2. The only difference is we're going to divide everything. Every term gets divided by -2. So y equals 2x minus 8. Find the slope. Well, we know slope is m. It's the coefficient of x when it's solved for y. So the slope is 2. Let's look at another example. Find the y-intercept of the line which has the equation y minus 3 equals 4 parentheses x minus 8. That is point slope form. Point slope form is the one that has the parentheses in it. It's got y minus a number and then x minus a number, and then there's a number outside the parentheses usually. So that's point slope form. I'm supposed to find the y-intercept. Well, it's in point slope. So from point slope, we can find a point and a slope, but not the y-intercept, just a point. So it's not part of this form. So we need to convert it to a form that has that information. What form has the intercept as part of the form? Yeah, that's again slope-intercept, and that stands for the y-intercept, slope-intercept form. So again, we have to put it into y equals mx plus b. That's the goal, okay? So what we're going to do, I'm going to start over here. We're going to solve for y. So if you think about our steps for solving equations, the first thing we do, if we have that possibility, is to distribute. First, we get rid of fractions, and then we distribute. We don't have any fractions, so I went to distributing. I need to get y by itself, so I'm trying to solve for this guy. So I'm going to move the box over here, switch sides, switch signs. And I boxed this one because those are actually like terms, aren't they? So it's a -3 over here, so it's going to be +3 over here. And then I can combine those two together. And y equals 4x minus 29. Now it's in slope-intercept form. This is my slope. This is my y-intercept. Find the y-intercept. The y-intercept is -29. One more example. Which equation below matches the graph? Okay, so recognize the form. These are all in standard form. Do you see that? Ax plus by. There's no b, but the b would be like 1, y equals c. So these are all standard form. Is the needed or provided information part of that form? So can you take information from this graph and just boom, there to standard form? No. So we're going to have to do some converting, all right? What do we know about the graph? Well, we know the y-intercept is 1, 2, 3. So that would be my b. I also know the slope is, let's see, I'm going to here. So run is 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is the rise. So the slope is -6 over 1, or just -6. So I know the equation is y equals -6x plus 3. 1, 2, 3, and I'm going down 6 over 1. Okay? Now, that's the answer in slope-intercept form, but how do I make it match this? Well, for this one, the x's and y's are on the same side. So I need to move this guy over to here. And we know how to switch sides. If it switches sides, it's going to switch signs. And this is a positive y, so I'm going to put a plus y to keep them separated. And then the 3, boom. That's an answer. That is here. Now, there are other ways to solve this. For example, you could take all these standard forms and convert them to slope-intercept form like we just did on the first example. There's some other different ways that you can do this, but maybe you'll get a chance to explore those in class. So hopefully that gave you at least an introduction in how to convert between forms.